Hello again, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of Ringside Entertainment. I am your host, the Precious One, Precious Paul, and I'm joined by my co-host, Frankie the Fixer.
Well, I'd like to say it's great to be back, fans, but, of course, you got suspended. I was gone by my own choice.
Well, fans, I want to start the show off by saying, obviously I have not been on TV the last month. I was suspended at our May show down at the Belmonte School in Saugus.
And rightly so, for comments unbecoming of a ringside announcer.
Well, I mean, I just call him as I see it, and T.J. Anderson, who was going to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, he had the wool pulled over his eyes.
Yeah,
so I just called that the way I saw it, and obviously he did not like the comments I made. So fans, I was suspended for a month, but I am back. I am happy to be here. And we have a lot of things to discuss.
And nothing left. You're lucky I talked to TJ to let him come back to the show. Because, I mean, he was really mad at you.
Well, he should be mad at himself because what he did, he got a crooked referee, shall we say, and what happened? The tables got turned on him, and we will talk about that, fans, more as the show goes on.
And that's still hearsay, though.
Oh, that was the truth. We knew that referee, that he had a crooked referee in his pocket. But somehow...
Oh, because Quest found out?
Well, Quest, he's our investigative reporter. He's done a hell of a job so far.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's kind of freaky, though.
In fact...
I could have swore I saw him one day.
Where have you been the last month? You should be throwing stones, because you actually had not been around the last month. I did the last show in Saugus with Quest, because you were a no-show.
Well, I was taking care of some business.
Where have you been the last month? You can't tell the fans where you've been?
Under the secrecy that T.J. Anderson made me swear to, like I was on special assignment myself.
Where?
Different places.
You don't want to divulge where you've been?
Well, I was bopping around New York looking into some voting things, number one.
Well, speaking of that, okay, well, I have to say, I'll give you credit. At least you told the truth there. Because, did you notice that when you went to New York, there was like somebody following you around? Did you ever feel like somebody was
a bunch of weirdo street performers?
New York's weird, but I had somebody follow you around. That's right. My investigative reporter, Quest, followed you around because you were nowhere to be found after the Saugus show. So I had him follow you around.
You had Quest follow me around.
That's right.
With my people in New York.
That's right.
Because all this time they're getting paranoid, thinking it's the feds, this, and that. It's Quest.
Well, it might have been the feds too.
Well,
I don't know.
He took the $50 tip at Tony's Clam Shack.
Well, we'll have to ask him that question. But he went to New York to follow you, and you know why? Because we'll go back to this voting thing. I told you I would get to the bottom of this. That how you cheated to get votes.
You
what do you call it? Brooklyn,
get to the
Staten Island, Long Island.
Shoes on. You're the one that said to the people to vote over the internet. I have friends everywhere.
But there was an awful lot of heavy volume coming out of those boroughs. It's just kind of strange how I lost votes and you gained votes. It was very strange about
I had heard that your votes were nullified, a lot of them, because, I mean, I hate to say this, but, you can't vote for yourself numerous times, Paul.
I did not do that.
I have it on good sources that you kind of stuffed the box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your votes, from what I understand from Quest, were from a lot of illegal immigrants.
Hey.
All right? So I don't want to really throw the ballots back and forth on that because
illegal immigrants.
But that's where a lot of your people.
Those are good Italian American citizens.
They could be Italians, but they were not legal. So there.
Look, just because you don't have a social security number and you don't exist doesn't mean you're not a person.
I am the precious one. Of course I exist.
I'm talking about my voters.
Well, case closed then, isn't it? Illegal. Illegal.
The arrogance of you is just unbelievable.
Well, fans, I do have a...
It is good to be back, though. And you do owe me for getting you back.
This is still my show. I was suspended, but I mean, it's still my show. And the ratings were down this last month.
That's because I wasn't here.
No,
it had nothing to do with you.
Here. No, I carry you most of the time. Remember,
your back must hurt.
You know, it does. Well, you are a big man.
Fans,
can I read this, man?
Go ahead.
All right, Fran, I do want to read this breaking press release that we have here.
Oh, is it from Quest?
No, it's not from Quest.
So it's credible.
This is from the upper management here at Ringside, that we want to inform you fans that Sabotage has been stripped of the RSE tag titles for failure to defend their titles within the 60-day time period.
Yeah, that's a non-compete clause.
Non-compete clause.
And that's been used in the past.
And RSE...
It's not a new precedent.
No, RSC has decided that there will be a tag team tournament starting in September. So fans, we will keep you updated on that.
What's basically happened, fans, not to interrupt you, Precious, is I hear from good sources, so many tag teams are flooding RSC with applications.
They are.
That we have to actually, we took this time to make it a tournament because we had to strip them anyway. I mean, they didn't wrestle. They didn't defend the title in 60 days. I mean, as you all know, that's an RSC rule. And hats off to T.J. Anderson. He enforced it equally. I mean, you know, the tag team titles, they've been held up due to that fact. I mean, and, you know, we're going to have a tournament. And that seems to be the fair thing to do.
See, now, this is going to be hard for me to say, fans, but I must concur with Frankie and really applaud T.J. Anderson.
I don't hurt to say that.
It really does. That T.J. Anderson has decided to enforce this rule, and so I really have to give him a thumbs up, which is hard for me to do, but he did the right thing. Finally, it seems for the company. So there, I said it.
All right, Paul. I like working with you.
Yeah,
I know it's got the better taste.
It does, but anyway.
Go have some of those clams. They were good.
So fans, we're going to have a recap of the May 5th show down at the Saugus Belmonte School. Over the last, 2 or 3 weeks, I know you've seen most of the matches, but we'll go over the results.
Well, I got to be honest, I want to go back to the ref, quote unquote, being bribed.
Okay, go ahead.
In how, like, Quest found out about all this, and then he gets his buddy, Vinny Capelli, to quote unquote fix things. Who is Vinny Capelli to be fixing things when I'm around? So that one show where I'm not there, someone steps in and starts fixing things. I don't think I like that.
Well, if you recall one of our last shows before I got suspended, Quest came on here, and actually Quest said it, and even Stunning Sean Stevens said there would be a big surprise.
I do remember that. I do.
The night of that show.
Yeah.
So obviously, Vinny Capelli was that surprise. Now, I was quite surprised because, like I said, I didn't know who that masked man was, that referee. And obviously, T.J. Anderson thought it was something that he had paid off, but somehow something got turned up the back.
You mean offered employment too?
Well, that's your choice. It was is pay off.
So in other words, you think the bribe was stymied by Quest's phenomenal backstage investigative reporter?
Well, I think...
I don't like the idea of you sicking him on me, following me around New York.
Well, I mean, again, this is what his new job is.
Let me ask you something. Did he come to the Derby when I was at the Derby and at the Preakness? Because I didn't notice anything unusual there. Well, they wouldn't allow a clown like him in an upscale place like that.
Well, if you really want to start stretching the truth here, Quest informs me that you could not get into the Derby and Preakness. You were not allowed. So you're going to stop telling lies to the fans because Quest was there and you were not allowed in. So this is now, I mean, you know, that's...
Are you kidding me?
This is what the report came back to me. Quest said you were not allowed in.
Quest better stop sniffing glue. Let's get back to business here.
So anyway, Vinny Capelli, fans, was the man underneath the mask. And obviously T.J. Anderson was quite stunned by his facial expressions. He was left speechless, which is pretty hard to do.
That's true.
And so the T.J. Anderson thought this was all taken care of between his blatant attack before the match, before the show even started, outside fans, you saw last week.
Stunning
Sean Stevens got jumped by 6 members of Team Elite.
He deserved it.
And now they rammed his leg into the door. You saw him hobbling to the ring. He couldn't even wrestle that night in part of his tag match.
How come he always has an excuse for not wrestling?
Well, why does he get beat up by 6 people?
Hey, you know everything. What does Quest tell you?
Now, you weren't there that night, but I know you had a part of that. See, I know you had a part of that. Exactly. So T.J. Anderson, yeah, you keep laughing. T.J. Anderson thought, well, he didn't take it out that way, so then he goes out and gets a crooked referee, but unbeknownst to him, that's
You know, wait a minute, a crooked referee? What if there was no referee? The so-called crooked referee.
Well, go back.
The only one we happen to see is this Vinny Capelli.
Now, should we go back, if we have a chance, fans, we'll see if we get the guys that queued up in the back. If you see some of the counts that were made, it sure looked, I mean, I have to say, it was Vinny Capelli, but at the beginning, awfully quick counts. When the Team Elite members were going for the count, for the pin, and then when Reaper or Stunny went for the pin, it was awfully slow. But,
Well, it could have been a malfunction with the camera.
but, things turned out just fine.
I think you had a part in that.
I'm not saying.
I think you did. I think you and Quest have got a little conspiracy thing going.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll have Quest do some investigative reporting on me, and we'll get back to you on that.
You know, the funniest thing is, you know, I remember when they were going to make him a janitor, and I said no. He doesn't deserve that. Now he's following me around and shadowing me.
Well, T.J. Anderson, he gave him the job.
Well, that's TJ's fault. Was go in the back and do what you want.
See, you heard that. He said it was T.J.'s fault.
It was. Actually, I'm going to have to talk to him about
You better
that.
watch yourself. T.J. you might be out of here.
I do things for TJ that you could never do.
So, that's Quest's job. Quest has done a hell of a job so far. With
Really?
more to come. In fact...
He makes me a little uneasy, Quest.
Yeah, well, you think this is something. In fact, it's come to my understanding that starting with, you know, our next show, June 16th, which we'll go over, Slam Jam at the Everett High Fieldhouse. Tickets will be $15, fans.
And the wrestling starts at 5,
At
so
5.
be there early.
And if you need more information, of course, you can go on our website, which is ringsideent.tripod.com, and you can see that on the bottom of your screen. And again, fans, we will talk about that more as it goes on. But it has come to my attention that Quest is going to have, he's going to have his own little segment on this show. You know. So if you don't like him now, you're going to hate him.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Precious. I knew that already.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, the fans didn't know that, so...
Yeah, you're breaking it to the fans,
Yeah, so
which is good.
That'll be very exciting, fans. So it's a new segment coming up pretty soon, starring Quest as our investigative reporter.
And you know what? I'm all for
dig deep.
that. I don't like him following me, but I'm all for that. I think it's good for RSE.
He will dig into the wrestlers' backgrounds and get interviews, whether it's here, backstage at the shows.
But he ought to stay out of
You know.
some of us personal business.
Well, you know, where there's a camera and a microphone, this Quest's going to be there, you know.
So he's just going to pop up wherever he wants.
Yeah, that's what a good investigative reporter does.
It could be dangerous, you know.
It can be, but here at RSE...
Some of these wrestlers aren't
you know,
going to like that.
Well, but this is RSE, where things happen. Things happen.
That's
Absolutely.
True. Now, I want to go back to Stunning one more time. I mean, not for nothing, fans, but if you remember the last time me and my co-host Paul were here, I told it how it was. I told you Stunning was nothing but a punk.
Well, you did say that, but of course, when
Look what happened to him.
he got beat up by six wrestlers.
That's how many people hate him. You had to step in line to get him.
I mean, you know, after he got beat up, it was, you know, I mean, he shouldn't even came to the ring. He's hobbling on his crutches, you know, because
He's
of that.
a gold bricker.